What is the most disgusting secret you're hiding right now? We had a candy corn counting contest in like 4th or 5th grade where you guess how many are in the big jar. When no one was looking, I carefully took the tape off the top thinking I was going to count them all or something, and saw that they had written the total on the inside of the top, so, being a genius, I took out about 30 of them, ate the evidence, and put my guess in for the number -35. Yeah, no, so it wouldn't be suspicious if I got it on the nose. Not realizing they weren't going to recount them, the winner guessed it within 20 of the number on the bottom of the lid. So basically, I cheated, sabotaged, and still lost, and I kept all that stupidity to myself for all these years. Candy corn counting contest is an extremely fun sentence to say. When I was younger, I would steal coins from my parents, and when I had enough, I would bring them to my dad and had them changed to paper bills, and he would be so proud of me for saving coins that he would buy me ice cream or sweet bread. He knew. Yes, he absolutely knew. 10 years ago I used to do the same. Recently, about 2 years ago, my dad told me that he knew what I was doing. We had a good laugh. I love you, Dad. Heart. As a student with a itty waitering job paying me almost nothing, I used to eat the food my customers didn't want after I took their plates to the kitchen. Been there, mate. It was like a second freaking payday if someone forgot about their to-go order. Unethical life pro tip: call in a to-go order shortly before closing, then take it home whenever claimed. If the kitchen staff catches onto this, you'll be stabbed walking to your car after your closing shift. Seriously? Any waitstaff job I had, the cooks would happily mess up a meal in our favor. My younger brother used to eat the dog food because he thought it would make him better friends with the dog. We began to leave a bowl out for him next to the dog bowl. You shouldn't have let him eat that. Now his babies will be born naked. Animals. Wait, you mean the skin tentacles aren't normal? Improvise, adapt, overcome. That last year when I was suspended from work for 6 months, it was due a failed post-accident drug test. I wasn't laid off. I knew it. Yeah, Katie told Amber, then everybody found out. When my sister and I were little, she would lick her cat because she thought she was helping to clean him. Did you grow up in Scranton with a sister named Angela? I made up a person. When I was in high school, I wanted to sound more popular, so I made up a guy friend. He had an incredibly interesting backstory. This went on 4 years, well into college. I had the same friends, so I couldn't just end the charade. The funny thing is, all of these people, my family, my best friend, even my husband, believe that they met this man. I never introduced them to anyone, but over the years, they all have different memories of seeing him. Finally, I just sort of phased him out, saying that we grew apart and lost touch. And yet, people will randomly ask me for updates on him. I just give vague answers and watch my husband smirk from across the room. My husband is the only person who knows the truth. I am so ashamed that I will never admit it. That lie was such a dumb thing that snowballed. This is honestly great and actually made me laugh. However, it's crazy how memories are so fluid and unreliable. When I was 8, my 19-year-old cousin tried to make out with me. I remember him rubbing my leg and kissing me in the kitchen, whilst my mom was in the living room. I didn't understand what was really happening at the time, but I knew I didn't like it. I kept nervous giggling and pushing him away. After a couple of minutes, he looked disappointed and walked away. I don't remember if he ever tried anything else. He was killed in an accident 3 years later, and I chose never to tell anybody as I didn't want to add to my aunt's grief. Damn, that's fricked. I was 5. My cousin was 13. He was my big bro, so I didn't think anything of it when he locked the door to his room. Went on for a year or two whenever we visited. He committed suicide a few years ago, and I won't be able to say anything to my family because there is a shrine to him at my grandmother's house. She raised him. Gosh, this sounds exactly like my story. When my cousin died, my mom was telling me I had to go to his funeral out of respect. I then, being already a 19-year-old, told her that her good nephew molested me when I was 5 until 8 when he moved out. He was around 8 years older than me. When I told her, her expression went blank and she said, "Do you think he touched your brother too, and that's why he is like that? Meaning gay?" I was fuming. And even 10 years later, she still thinks of him like her good nephew and pool him that he died tragically in a car accident. It's like she forgot that her nephew damaged me, and I had to go to therapy to overcome all that stuff and finally have a healthy actual life. Sorry, I'm venting. My one friend has no idea that I've known that he doesn't have kids for months. Also that I know he's been saying this and lying to everyone for attention. He tells a very convincing story. He goes into vague details, has a photo of the girl, Says that she's been showing him fake paperwork as proof for the children. If what he says is true, it would be literally extortion. Everything. Little does he know that I've been watching closely and also researching to find this woman. I know she isn't real and that he's lying and been lying this whole time for almost a year. Nothing he says makes sense and it just keeps escalating, which also doesn't make sense. I literally couldn't help myself but investigate. If everyone finds out that he's been lying this whole time, it will spread like wildfire. He doesn't have many friends, and the friends he did have stopped talking to him because of his compulsive lying. I had a friend like that in college. I talked to him about it, and while he took it super hard at first, I gave him examples and he broke down. It turns out he had been so severely bullied for his whole life that he had absolutely no confidence in being able to attract and keep people in his life without those lies. It took a lot of time and work on his part and me kindly and patiently reminding him when he slipped on my part, but he changed. I gained a solid friend as a result of my being willing to stick around and work with him through it. It was a life-changing experience for both of us. Now that is something awesome, because for most people the go-to move after you had caught someone's lies would be to cut the ties with the man. It wouldn't sound a terrible move either, but you changed someone's life by giving them second chance. Kudos. I have a friend who has faked pregnancies for 15 years. Faked having a baby and a hospital birth. Everything. Said the baby died, etc. I know she's lying and called her out. She keeps lying. She's due for a set of twins in July a few years ago. Never did meet those cuties. In biology class we were dissecting a pig's eyeball and my hand slipped and the eyeball fell on the floor, and me being extremely lazy I kicked it under a cabinet and it lay there for 2 years until someone finally found it. I'm just picturing some unfortunate cleaner randomly finding this fricking desiccated eyeball. I've cleaned biolabs and a desiccated eyeball isn't even very high on the list of disgusting things we find. Once body parts are dried up, they hardly smell at all. Uncle confided in me that he stopped taking the medications that are keeping him alive because he can't handle the weight of his life. Currently trying to be there for him as much as I can, but haven't told anyone because I feel like it's his choice, and I'd likely want the same in his situation. He's just worn out and feels like he's done his time and has already done what he can for the people around him. Reminds me of my uncle. We each have a rare muscle condition that will probably put us in wheelchairs later in life, and found out he's been doing meth and robbing homes to fund it. I love him so much. It hurts to see him doing something that will hurt others as well as himself. I secretly broke a 2,500 euros printer that is rare and precious. I just fixed it just enough that the second person using it got blamed for this and almost expelled from school. Maybe the person before you did the same thing to you. It's a tradition, going back generations. That there is someone on my Facebook who is lying about her dad passing of cancer, whilst her eldest daughter, 8 years old, is fighting a brain tumor. It is all lies. Her dad is alive and well. Her daughter is completely healthy. One of the pictures she used as proof is her daughter lying on a hospital bed. From what I know, she was just in for observation after a small fall. She has 2 Facebook profiles, one for all her family and friends of the family, and the second one, that I'm friends with, is for old school friends, general acquaintances and anyone she dates, etc. There's so much more lies, but those 2 ones are the ones I know 100,000% to be false. Please consider reaching out to family members of hers or even calling Child Protective Services. This is not normal or healthy behavior, and she very well may try and make her child or family sick for attention. That I hit some kid in the back of a trampoline park with a chain I grabbed off of a fence because he kept poking me. I think your respective ages could alter my reaction to this post. Not in all my 48 years have I met a more annoying 8-year with a stick. They were, but a wee child of 37. A guy whose dad worked on our farm took me way out back when I was about 7-8 and made me suck his dong. Probably happened about 12 years ago, only my girlfriend knows. Edit. Thank you everyone for the amazingly kind comments and everything. For now I don't plan to sew anything about it, as I don't want it to affect the rest of his family or anything, as there's no reason to make anyone else feel itty for his own stupid actions. But I do really appreciate everyone who reached out. Thanks again. 3. Not okay? You okay, fam? Yeah, it was a long time ago. Pretty sure it has caused a few of my problems in my life just being there subconsciously. But it's okay, nothing I can do now. Sorry that happened to you, friend. I dropped a human brain once in prep class and put it back like nothing happened, and everyone was wondering what kind of head trauma that person died of. The good ones would have noted the trauma occurred post-mortem. The newbies would have thought, is this that kind of lab? Actually, it was an entire freshman class that day. I was present for class, and after lots of guessing, the prof said op dropped it. It was hilarious. At least to me. I had to clean up just one puke that day. Big brain moment. Bruised brain moment. I once found a chocolate bar in a trash can when I was waiting at the bus stop. I ate it. If it was still in the wrapper, no biggie. I hope he checked it for golden tickets first. Especially if his grandpa is a bedridden deadbeat faking a decades-long injury. George? Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please smash the like button and leave a comment which story you liked the most. Subscribe and hit the bell notification for updates on our latest videos. And don't forget to check the links in the description box for more awesome content.